Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Scale Stories by Helium 10. My name is Bradley Sutton. I'm from Helium 10, and we are here to help.
Hi, I'm Dean Ernst with Essential Candy, and I'm here to help my Amazon listings.
Yes, and this is part 2 of our advertising strategy. So if you're just landing on this episode, first of all, you got to go way back to the beginning to meet Dean and his wife Tracy and learn about the Essential Candy brand. But if you've already watched most of those episodes and you're seeing this one first, go back. There's another one of part 1 of our advertising. And the reason why this is a 2-part episode is because this is one of the most intricate parts of advertising. So let's go ahead and continue on in what we were talking about in the last episode. All right, so I'm showing you one of my accounts. This is actually one of the accounts that sells that coffin shelf that I mentioned. And there's different rules that you need to start creating. All right. The first one is negative targeting rules. So you do this at the campaign level, or you can just create one and have all of them, all of your campaigns in the same rule. But I like making my negative rules like one per campaign, just because I have different ones. Like your branded campaigns might have a different threshold than your generic campaigns. Like I might not care that I get 40 clicks without a sale for a branded keyword, because that's a defensive ad and you don't pay so much for it. But I don't want 40 clicks on a generic keyword, you know. So that's why you see so many of these rules. Just whenever I create a new campaign, like in Helium 10, it allows me to just easily make this rule. So I didn't go here and spend 5 hours making, a million rules here. You're going to have to spend a little bit of time to make 12 different negative rules. But how this works is, let me just show it to you here. And by the way, I do not turn on automation. Just personally, I want to get notified for everything and decide myself. Helium 10 offers automation based on your own rules, but I always have caveats where I go against even my own rules. Like, for example, the keyword coffin shelf is my most important keyword. If I get 30 clicks with no sales, I'm not going to negative match that keyword. I'm just going to let it ride, because if I can't even advertise on my own, I've got other problems. I got to figure out why I'm not converting for it. But all the other, another keyword, if I get 30 clicks for my coffin shelf on a keyword that is Gothic mirror, right, where it's loosely related, I'm like, no, I'm going to negative match that for sure. But so if I had it on automation, it just would have gone ahead and negative matched my coffin shelf, which I never want. So that's why I personally never turn on automation. There are some people who just don't have time, and they're like, you know what, I trust my rules, and I'm just gonna just roll with it, roll with the science, and go ahead and turn on the automation. But how this works is, let me just open this rule up. You're gonna create this one by one. And by the way, let me just show you where to do that. Here's your ad manager. To your existing campaigns, you hit this settings under rules, and then you'll be able to create the rule. So here are 2 campaigns. Here's 2 campaigns in one rule, and they're all on the same product. For negative targeting, I only put here auto research, which for me, that means it's a broad campaign. It's just the structure of how I named it. Or phrase match. If you have an exact match campaign, like an ASIN targeting campaign or a keyword targeting campaign where it's an exact match, I never add negative targeting. I'll show you what I do later. But that's just something that is my strategy. A lot of people do it because for a target, if it hits certain bad metrics, I don't want to negative match that, because it still looks like the target is active. I want to pause that target. So I'll show you later. And a lot of this stuff might not be making sense to our listeners or to you, Dean. Don't worry about it. Once you go through Ads Academy, this terminology will all become second nature. But just know that when you make a negative target rule, only put auto campaigns or broad campaigns or phrase campaigns. So here I am. You can see for an auto campaign, I have negative exact and negative ASIN. Because in an auto campaign, you can show up for keywords, you can show up for products. And so that's what this means. It's like, if it's a keyword, I want it to be negative exact. If it's an ASIN, I want it to be just stop showing for that ASIN, right? For a research campaign, a broad match, I want it just to be a negative exact. So do you remember that one keyword that you had in one of your broad campaigns? I forgot what it was, like sleep aid, I think it was actually. And then how there was like 30 variations of sleep aid, right? Well, what basically this is saying is, let's say one of those variations, like sleep aid for women, gets 20 clicks and 0 sales, it's going to negative exact match. Negative exact match means that that exact keyword, sleep aid for women, it's going to stop showing you for. But all those other 25 variations of sleep aid, it'll keep showing. But we're stopping the bleed on that one that's getting a lot of clicks and no sales. Okay. So here, this is where everybody's different, but I put my rule. I put if sales is equal to 0 and clicks is greater than or equal to 20. And again, please guys, do not just copy this and say, oh, this is what Bradley said is the best number. Like I said, some people do 10. I don't like that. Some people do 30. I have 30 in some of my campaigns. Some people do more. To each their own. But you just got to decide on what works for you. I would say minimum 20, in my opinion. If that happens in the last 60 days, then suggest that I negative match. And I'll show you how this looks later. All right? All this stuff down here, you don't have to worry about. I like checking every 3 days. That's just me. And then again, manual. All right? So that's what you have to do. You set up your negative match ads for all of your campaigns that have broad or phrase match in them. Okay. The next rule you are going to have to create is your keyword harvesting rules. And again, this is going to be per product. All right. So each of these are different products in my account. So for yours, you would have one for your digestive blend. Like, let's say you have 5 campaigns for your digestive blend. Well, you would have one rule group for your keyword harvesting. What does keyword harvesting mean? Keyword harvesting means that you have an auto campaign, theoretically, and a broad campaign, and maybe a phrase campaign. For those, as you saw, for your broad campaign, I'm going to keep using that as an example, sleep aid. You saw Amazon was showing you, because you had a broad match, for like 40 different variations of sleep aid. The whole point is, some of those keywords you might not even have in your listing, but when you have a broad match campaign going, Amazon can show you for any variation of that. Even if you like, maybe you have sleep aid for dogs. I'm not saying your product should be ingested by animals.
No.
But let's say you, so you don't even have that keyword in there. But let's say there's some weirdo out there who likes giving their dog your candies to help it sleep. Well, you would never have been able to advertise even if you knew that was a good keyword. I mean, if you knew it was a good keyword, you should have had it in your listing. But since you don't have the word dog in your listing, you never would have been able to advertise or show up in the search results. But when you have a broad campaign or an auto campaign, Amazon can do whatever it wants. It's like testing a whole bunch of different things. And maybe is one day it decided to show you for a sleep aid for dog because it's a broad match. And what if somebody, went ahead and bought it? Like 2 people bought your product after searching the word sleep aid for dog. Well, do you want to wait and hope, cross your fingers, ooh, I hope Amazon keeps showing me for this keyword in this broad campaign or this auto campaign? No, you want to be like, no, I need to start advertising for this keyword 24 hours a day. And that's when you move it to a manual campaign where you're telling Amazon specifically, advertise me for this keyword. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what we call keyword harvesting. You're harvesting keywords from the auto pool and the broad pool that you never knew was relevant to your product. I mean, you already have done extensive keyword research, and so most of these keywords you probably should know already, but buyer behavior changes. A year from now, people are going to be using keywords that don't even exist now. I'm not saying the word doesn't exist, but like, phrases that might come up that you didn't know was relevant to your product, and so that's why you have auto campaigns and broad campaigns. Otherwise, everybody would just make manual campaigns and just target exact keywords, but we don't do that. So anyways, Natalie and Melissa we're telling you that you did not have, like sponsored display ads. You'll learn about what those are. Those are ASIN targeting ads, right? Let me just show you how it looks on Amazon. You're going to learn all this later, but let's look up. Probably autocorrect here. All right, so let's just look on somebody's a random listing here. Sponsored displays is a type of advertising where you target an ASIN. It usually shows up like right under the buy box. And you also don't have sponsored product targeting ads. These are kind of like those ads that show up where at the bottom of like a listing where it shows other related products and things like that. Like you could, you want to start following your competitors around. But anyways, the auto campaign could find ASINs that you can target, right? Half the targets, if not more, are ASINs. And so if you get a couple orders for one that's profitable, well, you want to go ahead and try these other ad types, because if it worked in this kind of ad type, it might work in these. At least it's worth a try. So that's what this is all about. This is keyword harvesting. So I'm looking in search terms in all of these campaigns. These are all my 18 egg rack campaigns. And basically it's saying, hey, if I find a keyword that works in my auto or my broad campaigns, it's telling me to add it as a broad match in my broad campaign. So if I find a keyword in my auto campaign, add it to the broad campaign if it's profitable. If I find that same keyword at the same time that I add it to the broad campaign, add it as an exact match, that's E, in my performance campaign or exact manual campaign, right? If it finds an ASIN in my auto campaign that hits certain metrics, tell me to put it into my sponsored display campaign. Tell me to put it into my sponsored product. And what means a good order or something good? I'm going to put minimum 2 PPC orders greater than or equal to 2. And I'm going to say, and a cost is less than or equal to, let's just say 50%. And look back period, last 60 days. Okay, exclude today. And check daily, right? And it's manual. All right, so this is, like, you probably could just copy this. All right, like maybe for you, I might put 70%. Because even if it's 70%, you can bring that down probably. But you can literally, you're going to go back and watch this replay, and when you group your campaigns together, you can just copy this exact structure. But for now, you actually don't have sponsored display campaigns and sponsored product targeting campaigns. We're going to have to create those for you.
Right.
But this is what you do for all of your products. So you're going to have 12 different rules where it links multiple campaigns. Like right now, you don't even have multiple campaigns for your product. So part of your homework is you have to create campaigns, and we'll help you with that offline, where you have at least these 5. Like these 5 are critical. Later, we're going to show you, we're going to create videos for you, and you're creating videos that you can run advertising to. So there'll be another type of campaign here, which is called sponsored brand video campaigns. So you're going to have 6, actually 7, because there's 2 types of video campaigns. One is an ASIN targeting video campaign, and one is a keyword targeting video campaign. So the goal is eventually, for all of your products, you are going to have 7 campaigns.
Wow. And
they're all going to talk to each other in this rule group. And this just saves hours and hours of time. Because imagine, like you would have to find good keywords from all these 7 campaigns in Seller Central or download the search term reports. And then now you find something good. Now you got to go find, okay, well, where is my exact match campaign? Where is my ASIN targeting campaign? Let me go find those, and then let me go add it. I'm going to show you how easy it is once you have this working. So that's the second group of rules you make, keyword harvesting rules. The last one is the most intricate, and it's going to take you potentially the most time, but you'll never have to do this again. It's the bid rules, all right? So I just have one rule group for all of my campaigns. You would do the same. You've got all the same products, your similar products, so you would just have one rule group for it all. And this might seem overwhelming at first, but you're going to watch this video and just literally copy maybe what I have. So add all of your campaigns. add everything to the right side. So I added all 88 of my campaigns in this account to this one here, okay? That's step one. Step two is you can see here, I have got like 15 rules, criteria. So this does take about an hour or so to do, but you'll never have to do this again. You start doing what we were doing in that audit, where instead of us having to manually audit once a week or something, you are just programming in your criteria. So again, remember I told you how I said my threshold is 200%? So right here, I'm saying, hey, if my A cost is greater than 200%, tell me to just pause the target, just give up on that target, right? Okay. And look back at 60 days. My criteria number two, I'm like, you know what? If it's between 100 and 200%, choose this. Now there's all these different kinds of things I can do here. I am choosing this formula here. I didn't create this formula. This is just one of the presets. I don't want to have to mathematically explain what this is. Basically what this is, without understanding the math here, is I'm saying if it's between 100 and 200% ACOS, do what it takes to get me to 60% ACOS. That's the easiest way to do it. Now, again, for me, 60% is double what is profitable for me. But remember how I said I bring things down gradually? And the reason I don't have to worry about this staying at 60 is because I have all these other rules that are eventually going to pick this up. So eventually it gets down to 60%, my other rule is going to see it. You'll see that. So again, my rule, you can copy this if you want, is between 100 and 200%. Do what it takes to bring it down to 60%. If it's between 60 and 100, do what it takes to bring it to 50. If it's between 50 and 60, do what it takes to get to 40. Now for you, your goal is probably going to be around 50%, potentially. I'm just saying a number, but maybe it's 40%. Like now at this point, you're going to start going in the other direction. But for me, my goal on this account is actually 20 to 25%. So you can see I have some other ones here. So I'm saying 40 and 50, bring it down to 30. You're not going to copy this one. That's too low for you, right? And then I have between 30 and 40, bring it down to 25. So here's my threshold. Or actually, no, my target is 20% in this account. So I have one more. And you can see how it's getting smaller and smaller a little bit. Now this is between 25 and 30. I'm like, bring it down to 20. Okay, but now look what happens. This is my threshold. I say if it's between 50 and 20, bring it up to 21. Okay, which is my goal. If it's between 10 and 15, bring it up to 17. Like, well, why aren't I bringing it up to 20? I don't want to ever double my budget or double my bid. That means if it was at 10% and if I had this at 20, I'd be literally going from $1 to $2. I don't want to do it. I'm just going to do it to 17 because guess what? Once it gets to 17%, this rule is going to pick it up and it'll help me get, higher. And then now it gets even smaller. I'm like, hey, 7.5% to 10%, bring it up to 12, and I just keep going lower and lower. The reason why I keep these numbers close is because it's going to double or triple if I don't do that. And so I go all the way down to the bottom, right? And that's what you're going to do. And then the last rule that you're going to have, this is at the target level. So this is different than the negative match. Remember I said, make negative match rules for your auto campaigns and your broad campaigns. But this is for my exact manual campaigns and at the target level. So I'm saying, hey, if I get 25 clicks with 0 sales, tell me to pause the target. All right, so you've got homework to create this as well for your entire account. And then once you do that, you are going to, in your ad manager, apply. It'll have like two rules and 3 rules. You'll have a negative match rule and a keyword harvesting rule. Like each of these should have 3 probably rules. And now what is going to happen? What is going to happen is now you're going to get suggestions. So let me show you. I think I have not applied my suggestions. Perfect. Remember we made a negative match rule? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to hit my negative match rule and let's see what it's suggesting to me. So I only do this once a week. And you're at the level right now where you only need to do it once a week. Guys, if you're spending $10,000 a week on advertising, you probably need to be looking at this every other day. Right. But at Dean's level, you're fine once a week, right? So take a look at this. Horror bath mat. I have bat-shaped bath. I spent $14 and got 0 sales, right? Now, I made a rule where I said, hey, if I get 15 clicks and no sales, tell me to negative match that. And that's exactly what is happening here. I want to stop the bleed. I don't want to spend over the next 60 days. I don't want to spend another $14 to get 0 sales. So what this is telling me is basically saying, hey, you set this rule for negative match. This hit the rule. Do you want to negative match it? And my answer is yes. So all I have to do, I hit this check mark. If I was like, you know what, I just want to snooze it. I want to let this ride a little bit more, 17 clicks, it's really not that much. I want to wait till I get to like 25 or 30 clicks. I would have hit this snooze button. All right. But I'm just going to say yes. Go ahead and apply it. Boom goes the dynamite. That is now negative match. That would have taken me just right there 4 minutes to do in Seller Central, maybe 2 minutes if I'm fast. It took me 2 seconds to do because I had the rules set up. So that was the only suggestion I had in the last week. Here's my keyword harvesting rules. This is the new keywords. Remember where I said, hey, if I get 2 orders or 1 order or whatever, like put it to my campaign. Let's take a look at one of these here. So here, I had a rule. Oh my goodness, look at this. Goth bathroom decor. I spent $3 and got $70 worth of sales. But this was just like in an auto campaign. Amazon randomly showing photos. You think I want to show for this 24 hours a day? Better believe it. 4% ACOS, good grief, right? So I had this rule where I said, hey, if I get more than 2 orders at 40% ACOS, suggest to put it in X number of campaigns. So let's see, I just put my mouse over here. I didn't have this in my broad campaign. I didn't have this in my video campaign. I didn't have this in my exact match campaign. So do I want to add it to all those at once with 1 click? Yes, I do.
Sure.
Let me just go ahead and apply. I just added that keyword to 3 campaigns where I was not advertising it for.
Wow.
And who knows? I over the next 60 days, this or I don't see it anymore. That's $70 for the sales. It can be $140 for the sales just because I clicked something that took me 2 seconds to click.
Right.
This is the power of efficient advertising. And so I would look through each of these to say, do I want to add it to these campaigns? Yes or no? I would go through it. Now the bids, this is where the most time-consuming one, just because I have a lot of targets here. You don't have many, so you're not going to get much of these. But right here, so this is perfect. Here is a keyword, coffin shelves, where it's telling me to put it down. Now here's a case where my ACOS is terrible, but I might lower this a little bit, but I just I gotta figure out what's going on. Why is one of my most important keywords, my ACOS terrible? I'm gonna let this one ride. So I'm gonna say snooze. But take a look at this one. Halloween bathroom map. I set a rule in my bids. Remember that I was trying to get down to like 20, 25% eventually. So 50% is not good for me. For you, this is good. But for me, no. I mean, I'm not going to negative match this keyword. It got me $140 worth of sales. That's pretty decent. But I got to get more profitable on this. So I already had brought it down a little bit over time, but another one of my rules picked it up where it's like, you know what? You got to bring it down 7 cents more to 52 to try and get closer and closer to my actual goal. It's gradually bringing me down week by week. And so I'm going to say, yeah, I want to go ahead and do that. Here's another one. It's like, just bring it down a cent. All right. I'll gradually do that. Here's another one that's terrible. 100% ACOS. I'm over. So this is probably the first time I'm seeing this suggestion. It's saying bring it down 40 cents to start bringing this 77. That's terrible. I spent 50 bucks and I only got $50 worth of sales. I definitely want to make those. Let's look on the flip side here. Look at this one here. Right here. Here, my goal is 25% ACOS. I've got an ASIN I'm targeting at only 18. But because I have my rule set up, it's telling me, you know what? You're leaving money on the table. Bring this up by 7 cents to maybe get some more exposure. Sure. I'll follow your suggestion. Here's one that is a negative match. Look at this. I spent $19 on this term bat rug and got 0 sales. How many clicks was it? It was over 25. Do I want to stop the bleed and not pay $20? Absolutely. So it's telling me to pause. Remember, I made a rule for pausing a target. So yeah, I want to go ahead and pause that. And guess what? I get that 1 click that took me 1 second over the next 60 days is going to save me 20 bucks. You're not going to have anything like this right now because, like I said, you're spending like a very small in comparison to me. But this is what eventually you're going to see where 1 click is going to make that much of a difference. So anyways, I just click like 5 of these. Let me just go ahead, or 6. Let me just go ahead and implement them. And I've got like 90 others I just need to look at. But those 90, it's only going to take me like 5 minutes to go through those.
Right, I guess so. So it's
most of them I'd say yes.
Does that show that weekly at the top where it suggests all those changes, or is that just kind of ongoing?
That's what you set in the rules where I said, hey,
right.
I actually didn't show that. But that, if you look back at the screen recording, you'll see I had said, hey, check this once a week and I specify the day of the week. I like doing this on my weekend, so I have it here Friday nights for me, and then Saturday morning I just go in and
update.
Right?
Okay.
So that's what you're going to have to do for these campaigns, and then you're going to have to create some new campaigns, and then after a while everything's going to be together. So your first homework that we'll do together offline will be creating all the rules that's going to be for your campaigns, and then at least getting your digestive blend. Get those 5 campaigns running for digestive blend. You're not ready to make the video yet. That's part of what you're doing. Also, the video ads. So we'll just start with making sure you have those 5 campaigns, which is exact match, broad match, auto campaign, and 2 product targeting campaigns, sponsor display, and product targeting. So making sure you have that and all your rules set up. Now, here's the other thing. For your exact match campaigns, this is how you start ranking for those important keywords that you weren't ranking for. Remember, if you remember in the keyword research module, we found tons of keywords that you didn't even realize were that important to you. Like the nausea for pregnant ladies and stuff like that, that you weren't even ranking for. So you're going to get those keywords in your listing, but that isn't automatically put into page 1. Nobody's still going to see you in the search results for those. Advertising is the way you do that. So you're going to put like some of those keywords that we found in your exact match campaign. And then remember, you're going to put it in your keyword tracker so you can see where is your ad showing up for this. Oh, I'm like 25. It's like page 3. Nobody's going to see me on page 3. Sure. Let me increase my bid in ads. So this is how different tools kind of like have synergy with each other. We found the keyword. We're tracking it in keyword tracker. Now we add it to Helium 10 ads so that you can start advertising for it. Now you go back to keyword tracker. Where's my ad showing up? Oh, it's not top of the search. Let me go back to ads. Let me increase my bid. Let me check it back later. So there's a lot of synergy here, but this is going to be the way that you are going to increase your sales, is by showing up for new keywords that you were not showing up for before.
Sure.
And hopefully you get conversions in advertising. And the more that happens, that's why Amazon will put up your organic search result higher and higher. Because at the end of the day, Amazon wants to make money either from your advertising or from the 15% commission they take from each sale. Right. And so they want to show stuff at the top of the search results that have a history of getting, conversions.
Sure.
A good chance for that keyword. And so that's the path that we do. So advertising. So I know this is really deep, and some people are like, "Oh my God, why am I even selling on Amazon?" Like Bradley was talking about pausing and negative matching and ACOS and ROAS and all these crazy terminology. But guys, all of you do the same thing that I told Dean. Go into, maybe you're not even selling on Amazon now. So if you have Helium 10, you've got full access to that Ads Academy.
Right.
And go through it. Advertising is complex, but it's not complicated, if that makes sense. Like there's a science behind it. All right, so Dean's got his homework. Tracy's got her homework. You guys have your homework. We're going to come back in a couple months and see how all of this advertising strategy has worked out for Dean. I hope that $700 is going to turn into, at least for now, maybe at least $2,000 or $3,000 worth of spend, but profitable. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this journey so far in Scale Stories. We'll see you in a couple months in the next episode.